Welcome to my April 2025 essay, I Wonder. In middle school, my science teacher, Peter, changed my life. I didn't know it at the time. At the time, I thought he had lost his mind. We were out at the creek on a class assignment, something about finding and recording data on creek life and drawing some crawfish. I don't remember the details because I was already working faster and better than everyone else. That is how I operated. School was a game, and I knew how to win. Also, it was really hot and muggy in North Carolina, and once we had finished with the assignment, we could go back in the air conditioning and have some unsupervised reading time. I love me some reading time. I came to Peter with some super smart question that probably demonstrated how the assignment was bad or poorly written, expecting a challenge, expecting him to see that I was ready for more. Instead, he laughed and said, "Adam, just stop. I have something different that I want you to do." I was thrilled. A secret mission, something harder. I want you to just sit here and wonder. You're not allowed to write anything down, no project, no assignment. Just wonder about stuff and tell me about it later. Excuse me? What? This was not work. This was not a challenge. This was some kind of obscure punishment. I wanted to prove something. Instead, I sat there, bored. Okay, so it turns out this was actually pretty challenging. And it was a very boring kind of challenge. There was no magical moment where I felt awed by nature or enlightened about the mysteries of life. Just a bored sixth grader sitting by a stream, sulking because he didn't know how to get a gold star at this assignment. All I really remember is feeling weird and trying to help the cute boy that I had a crush on. Sidebar, the cute boy was Ross Duffer, who then went on to be one of the creators of Stranger Things. Ross, if you are out there and gay, get in touch. Double sidebar, my teacher definitely knew that I was doing that and totally cock-blocked me by telling me to go work on my own assignment. At the time, it was a forgettable day. Nothing happened. But now, at 40, it's one of the sharpest memories I have of grade school. Why? Because it was wrong. Teachers don't tell kids to just sit around and wonder. That wasn't learning. That wasn't how the game was played. Learning meant producing measurable results, assignments, grades, proof that I was the best. If I wasn't doing something, how could I know that I was winning? I didn't realize it then, but Peter was breaking the rules on purpose. Years later, I had another teacher who did the same thing. My high school drama teacher, Bob, who had been a student of Viola Spolin, one of the mothers of improvisational theater training. Viola and Bob believed that when people play games, the part of the brain that monitors behavior turns off in pursuit of the game's goal, allowing for more spontaneous action and a different kind of learning. Bob wasn't just a high school drama teacher for me, though. This was a public arts boarding school, and so Bob was teaching us 8 to 10 hours a week. The maddening thing was it didn't feel like he was actually teaching us anything. Bob embodied this philosophy in ways that drove me and my classmates insane. We would play tag, and he'd ask, "Why are you avoiding getting tagged? Don't you want to be it?" We played so much tag in theater class. We'd be rehearsing monologues for our college auditions, and he'd toss us a ball and say, "Let's go again, but this time play catch with me while you do it." It infuriated people. It wasn't teaching. This wasn't helping us get into college acting programs. But Bob wasn't interested in giving us what we thought we wanted. He was playing the long game. Bob even said to us once, "I don't really care if you get into the college program you want. I care that you get more in touch with yourself, because that is what acting is actually all about." The gall of him openly admitting his traitorous aims of not getting me into my college of choice. But both Peter and Bob planted some seeds, and they were hoping those seeds would grow into something over time, like a tree. At the time, all I wanted was to be told that I was good. But they knew that if they gave me that, they'd be teaching me that validation is coming from somewhere else. If you'd followed me for a while, you'll understand what I say when I say, I believe that teaching, coaching, and instruction are actually pretty different social acts. Instruction is handing out an apple, which is better than a student going hungry. Instruction is better than nothing. Teaching is about planting seeds. Sometimes those seeds take a while to grow, and it's okay to play this long game. Not every seed that you plant as a teacher is going to grow anyway, but that means you have to scatter a whole lot of them. Coaching is about tending the orchard. Students who come by hungry, thinking they're about to get an apple, are going to be disappointed until they start to realize what you're really doing. I get to be with some of my students for a few years, but they have to be with themselves for a whole lifetime. And when they create something, I want their first instinct to be, what do I think? What do I think? Not, did I do a good job? That's why, now, I never tell my students that they're good. Not because I don't think that they are, not because I'm mean. Instead, I ask them, what do you think?